I was recently looking for an online tool to create comic books with my kids in sixth grade global studies and happened upon Storyboard That as one of the options from Free Tech for Teachers, Richard Burns' blog, which is really useful as a side note as well. But Storyboard That is a really awesome online tool that any subject could use to create storyboards and also to create comic books or pamphlets or all kinds of products from. So I already have an account. At my school at Berkeley, we have Google accounts, and you can log in with a Google account, which is really nice. And I actually already have an example created, so I can go to my account. And I made this for my kids as an example because what we're doing is we're creating comic books about how life changed from the Paleolithic to the Neolithic eras. So what I asked the kids to do, I gave them 6 different topics that they had to cover, from trade to food to living conditions to different jobs. And in the first panel, they had to explain what life was like in the Paleolithic era, in the middle what life was like in the Neo, and then at the end they had to draw a conclusion. So the goal here was, of course, the learning goals, which to make sure they understood this massive shift in human history, and Storyboard That enabled me to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new storyboard so you can see all that can be done with it, which I think is really cool because you always have kids in class who say, I can't draw, I'm not an artist, I'm not good, and they get caught up in that, and it stops them from producing the kind of final product that you're hoping they can get from your lesson. So you see all kinds of different backgrounds, so U.S. history, all different elements. The kids click through these and they can find exactly what they're looking for. Mythical and futuristic, so here you could do something dealing with castles in the Middle Ages. Work, if you're teaching new vocabulary in a Spanish class, you could put a kitchen or this one's a copy center, I guess, or a cafeteria. And then you get different characters, and the posable characters are really nice because, for example, in the example I did, I had the guy hunting. I had someone hunting, so I dragged him into a scene, and then I edited his pose so that he would hold a bow and arrow as an example of what life was like in the Paleolithic era. So here he is. He could hold a bow and arrow like that. You can change their facial expressions. You can do whatever you want so that they can hold different props. There are all kinds of different people, though. So there are historical characters, monsters and myths. It's really fun to drag these, and the kids really enjoy it. I gave my kids 2 minutes to play around with it so they could create whatever scenes they wanted. I told them, of course, you're going to have to delete this so we can use our free storyboards on the class project, but at least it gave them a chance to play with some of the more fun characters that wouldn't apply to this project. Anything they couldn't find, they could then search for, so that's how I found the bow and arrow, was in searching, and then I could pick anything that worked for me. So my kids were looking for all kinds of things that would end up working. Basket, clay. There are some ideas. They can also upload if they wanted to draw something. They could draw a background or draw a character and upload it that way. And then there are text boxes of all sorts that you can have the characters talking, saying, my characters, and I'm having the kids explain life in the Paleolithic and Neolithic eras. So you can use the text boxes in that way. And it's really cool all the ways that you can customize these. And the kids have really already done a lot with them. I'll pull up an example. So here you can see an example of 2 of the frames and the way the characters were edited and the way she used the text boxes. When you finish with a Storyboard That, it's easy to save. You hit the save button. It will only let you save it once you've added a certain amount to the storyboard. You click save, give it a title, and then it'll be available in your My Storyboards. The nice thing about Storyboard That is that with the free version you get 2 storyboards per week. So if different teachers wanted to do different storyboards, there's a low risk that kids would run out of free templates because of the extra 2 that they get every week added into their account. So think about different ways that it could be used. I know that it could be used across a lot of disciplines because of all the available backgrounds and characters and props. And I would love to help in any way.